All right, we live. What's good? This is the wagering world. It's your boy 5 Star in Vegas, and I'm broadcasting live as always from beautiful Summerlin, Nevada. I'm in here with my homie, Skee Prophet. What it do, Skee?
What's good, bro? It's good to be back on the show with you, man. Football, NFL has been lovely. So I know we got a game to talk about tonight, and I know you got a lot you want to talk about. I love just being on the show and vibing with you, though. So what up, wagering world? What's good?
Man, we're so happy to have you in here, Skee, man. You know, this show is a little bit different than when I come on your show and J Money. You guys get like right to the bed just for guys who just, coming to get information and cap. You don't mind, I kind of do it like a sports show. I just kind of
Oh,
like to
I
talk,
know.
and I try to make it where it's a little bit more than just sports, and no other better person to have on, a real friend of mine, Skee. And happy birthday. I want to chat out, say happy birthday to my guy Skee, man. He turned
Appreciate you.
21 yesterday.
Hey, man.
Happy birthday, brother, man. Like I say, it's always a blessing to have you in here. Couple
Appreciate you
things.
1000%.
Hey, and for your birthday. So, quick thing, real quick. So, what was the cake you got? Was it a good cake?
It was an ice cream cake. It was chocolate. It had Oreos on it. It was fire, bro.
Oh,
Honestly, I don't even like cake for real, but
yeah, I know you
I
don't
was eating
even eat
that cake.
sweets.
I don't eat sweets at all,
All
but
you
that
eat
cake
is
was
chicken and
fire.
French fries. You eat just like my son Ed. Skee's just like my Levio. He eats chicken and French fries every time we go somewhere. Oh, burgers. Now you took me to a good burger spot one
Well,
time.
I had some lobster and steak last night.
Oh, man, already. Hey, now you know that you should have let me know. I would have got the babysitter. We would have pulled up. We would have went to our little spot. You know what I'm saying? You know what we would have went. We would have been over
Yeah,
there in
I
Fountain
thought
Blue.
I thought about
Turned up.
it.
So
Copy.
I owe you a dinner or a lunch. We don't have the in-laws in town, man. So since we don't got the in-laws in town this week, I got to see if the babysitter sit up. But me and my wife are definitely gonna take you out. You know that. You know how much we love you, man. You know you family, bro. So happy birthday again to you. Did you see Mark
Appreciate you.
Sanchez, Skee?
No, I must have missed whatever happened with that.
You was having such a great birthday. So Mark Sanchez goes Grand Theft Auto in Indianapolis, and it's the craziest story that I ever heard. You know, this guy was already famous for the butt fumble, and he overcame that
Yeah.
and became like an announcer. So what happened, Skee? He's supposed to be. He works on the broadcast, I believe, for Fox. I want to say, is it Fox or CBS? One of the major networks. And he was calling the Raiders at the Colts game. And the night before, I guess he decides to go out in downtown Indianapolis and have a night. And I don't know if someone put something in his drink, if he was creeping off and he was, partaking in the wrong things. But somehow he just got on one. You from LA, I'm from Houston. We know how people are when they get wet. He was moving
Yeah.
like he was on water. Like he
Oh,
was
no.
tripping. Like, so
Oh,
a
man.
guy's parked in the back of I guess the club he's coming out, maybe he's blocking in Sanchez or whatever, and Sanchez goes up to the door and threatens the guy. He's an old guy. The guy's 69 years old, Skee, and he tells him, like, move out the way. The guy tells him, like, man, I'm delivering something. I can't. This is the delivery zone. What are you talking about? So Sanchez roughs up the guy. The guy pepper sprays him. This how I know he was on some water or something. After he pepper sprayed him, he still keep coming on at the guy. Start beating him up some more.
Yeah, he
Old
definitely
man
was.
pulls out the pocket knife and hits him 3 times in the chest, and they end up rushing him to the hospital. But you already know people like Jason Whitlock was already over there talking about something. We already know we got to clean up crime. When it all happened, it was like Mark Sanchez got robbed.
So this happened yesterday.
Yeah, and it ends up it's an old white guy that stabbed him because
Damn.
And so
I gotta go check that out. That's crazy.
And he catches a felony case out in Indianapolis. One of the most wild stories. That's typical 2025, Skee.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like some water for sure over there.
Right.
Mark Sanchez. That's
Yeah,
a wild story. I don't know how I missed that.
Cuckoo. They was on the cuckoo.
But actually, I do know how I missed it. But that is a crazy one. I'm gonna go back and have to look it up.
Yeah, for sure, bro. That's a crazy story. But man, let's jump now into the show, man. I just wanted to laugh about that a little bit. Let's get into the past, man. Kick it off with the 49ers. You called me right before the game.
Bro. Yeah.
And I think
I knew what time it was.
you had already started your birthday, I think, right?
No, it was my sister's wedding.
Oh, that's
So
right. That's
I
right.
was doing the wedding, doing all that stuff. So I just a little bit. I couldn't get to the window the way I wanted to. I didn't get to bet the Niners, but it made too much sense, bro. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
plus
Well,
9 in that game.
yeah,
It was not
it was a
surprising.
beauty, man. It was a beauty. We did it over here. I gave it out here on the show. Also gave it out on Jay Money Show, and I was telling people coming into the initial injury when Brock Purdy caught the turf toe. You already know how I feel about Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
You know I've been talking about this guy even when he was at the Super Bowl. That was one of my main
Mm-hmm.
handicaps when we took the Chiefs big that year. Was like, you gonna bet on Brock Purdy against Patrick Mahomes? So Purdy is a guy who's going to end up costing Shanahan a lot. They're going to have to figure out a way to break ties with him this year and this offseason. I heard that the cap hit is ridiculous on him, but they made a big mistake, him and John Lynch. They did the good old boy network stuff and gave him a deal that he hadn't earned yet. Just because you went to the Super Bowl, bro, don't mean that you worth $50 million. If you look at Mac Jones, it's no difference in this game than Brock Purdy. I talked about that earlier in the year. The only difference is that Purdy can run just a little bit, Ski. Like, besides that, what's the difference between Mac Jones and Brock Purdy, in your opinion?
I'm still to be determined on Mac Jones, but I think I was too high on Brock Purdy. Like I thought he was better than what he is. So now I'm kind of just coming back down to earth. Um, yeah, because last year he was like, no matter who was injured or whatever, he was making it work. You know what I'm saying? As far as like he was able to play without weapons. Now I'm just like, I don't know. I don't feel good about him no more. I don't think he's I don't know. I just drop him like a tier or two. That's all I can say from what I used to think.
Well, my thing is this. You know how I am. Y'all hit that like if y'all rocking with the Wager World. If you catch it later, make sure that you guys subscribe to the show and hit the like button. The thing I've always been on when it comes to Brock Purdy is that, okay, he's kind of like this. He came in the league a little bit underrated because he shouldn't have been the last pick. Because I watched him at Iowa State and I watched him lift that program up. So I knew he could play. And he also was like a really good high school quarterback at Arizona. But then after he was good, they're not realizing the type of team that's around him. You know, they made it where it was a lot of light work on him, and he didn't earn that $50 million. And just a really poor decision by them. And I think that moving forward, if Shanahan doesn't figure out a way to either trade him, then he's going to sink with him because they're not going to be able to afford more players. But going back to this game, Mac Jones has Trent Williams with him. That's my homie, Big Trent. Shout out to Trent. Trent was wired with the radio coming in, and I seen how he was talking in Mac Jones' ear. You know, Mac Jones like rap. He's a hip hop little dude. You know, he played at Alabama, so the homies love him. So he had Trent really playing hard and blocking for him. I feel like Trent knows guys haven't been blocking hard from Brock Purdy this season because it's like everyone in the locker room knows who deserves money. They feel like he got overpaid, and so it's kind of affected the team. It seems like the team is rallying more around Mac
Hey,
Jones.
that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think they're rallying around him. And then as far as the Rams, just an off week, just a book game. Sean McVay and the Rams are going to be
Short
just
week.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be just fine. I think they're going to – I still like the Lions now the most to win the NFC at this
Really.
point.
Well,
You
they're
know how I
playing
am
good.
about
I
Dan
bet them in the
Campbell.
past 3 weeks, I think. Past 2 weeks at least.
Bro, you know how I am about Dan Campbell. That's my guy. So Dan Campbell, in Dan Campbell we trust. So I
We're gonna
like
see
him.
how
But,
much you really trust them this weekend.
I trust him. You going to fade him?
I'm gonna see. They've been too hot to fade. Like I bet the Lions the last couple of weeks, and I don't know.
I
I
like
don't
when
like betting
teams
against the
got
other
that public
side.
on their back and get it done. You know that. I love that.
Yeah, yeah,
That tells me that the team is together,
exactly.
you know.
Because I was scared yesterday with my Lions, but I ain't gonna lie. I was like, 90%.
Yeah, I had to bet. I unloaded on the first half, bro. It was just a really good time. And then I went later. Shout out my boy Raheem Palmer. Me and him met. We went over to the win and we watched the late night game and had the Patriots first half for the game. So everything was pretty good on Sunday. But on Thursday night, man, the Rams okay. Me and Skee both agree on that moving forward. But look to see what the Niners do, man, to figure out the situation. I think that they're hurting themselves if they take Mac Jones from under center this season. Also, the difference between Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay's career, I always said, is the fact of who they tied to themselves as a quarterback. And Sean McVay never accepted anything less. See, Jared Goff was really good, and he moved off him to get to Stafford. Whereas when you take Kyle Shanahan, he always wants to take his homies. He want to coach guys who he likes personally instead of worrying about how they play on the field, as he makes Jimmy Garoppolo play better than he ever played in his life, and it wasn't enough. Making Brock Purdy get $50 million a year, and it's not enough. You have to attach yourself to a quarterback who's special to win it all. If you're going to just stay with a guy's guy like you have to pay him accordingly. They should not have paid Brock Purdy. Now, let's get into a little heartache. Ski, we took two L's on Friday, man. Delaware, that Delaware game ticked me off so bad. They had full control of that game.
I was pissed, bro. I was at Stadium Swim watching it. Yeah.
What did you see?
The coach is an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hold on. I've been drinking a lot since then, but the coach pissed me off. I know that he made some stupid decisions. I feel like that cost him the game. And then there's the one play on 4th and 1. Why you gonna run the shit all the way to the outside to the left? Like whatever that play was ridiculous. So that play, and it was like another decision the coach made.
And you make yourself lose 6 yards on the field.
What are you doing?
And
it was another decision he did
that's
too.
A playmaker, your quarterback, and the quarterback killed us too because
he fumbled.
He was giveth and taketh away. He was kind of Daniel Jones, you know what I'm saying? Like he's making great splash plays where you're like, damn, this dude is cool. He can play. And then he'll come back and get stripped. That's what put West Kentucky back in the game. They was kicking their ass. It was over with, bro. He got stripped, and West Kentucky scored on defense. Remember in the third quarter? After that, they went on just a crazy run, and we ended up getting knocked out the game. Then the quarterback fumbled on the goal line. We would have won right there, too. So that's bad break, bad beat, bad handicap. That's definitely a bad break on that one. I don't think it was a bad handicap at all, because if you watched it, you know that we should have cashed with Delaware fairly easy, bro. You know, so,
the over should have hit too, for real.
Everything's supposed to hit. It was just a janky Friday. And then we go to San Jose State. And
this the one that sent me to the bar, for real. Sent me back to go get another tequila.
Every time New Mexico did anything good, it was a flag. So another book situation right there, man. I don't have much to say about that game. It's just we didn't cash it. Any thoughts on New Mexico and San Jose State?
Bro, I'm not going to lie. After what happened in the Delaware game, then that game started, and it was like 0-14. I crashed out. I was at the bar. I was done. I got nothing else to say after that.
Bro, it was just very disappointing to see. I guess because it was the Friday night game, they gave me a little clues. Because when the broadcast came on, Ski, they said that Coach Eck, who I was speaking so highly of, he wasn't calling. He called one trick play the whole game. He said before the game, you remember last weekend when Florida State and Virginia was on? Everyone's going to be watching us like this with a primetime game. And he played like it, like they was working like – bro, it was ridiculous. I was like the quarterback for San Jose State was like 23 out of 23. Like he completed like his first 23 passes. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
I couldn't watch no more.
One of those games, man. So it's all good. Here go my guy Stephen Harrison. He said his birthday was September 28th.
Happy belated.
Hey, happy belated, brother. You up in my area now, 41. We right around the same little group, man. Welcome to the early 40s. It's a beautiful place to be, man. You kind of still
I get there one day.
Chill, but you know better, So
hopefully I get there one day.
Yeah, so you right there. All right, now let's get to Saturday where we were able to cash. We got in Maryland. They blowed it outright. That's why I told them before the game, I said, I hate Mike Loxley, but he just has a great quarterback over there, Malik Washington. So we covered the 4.5, but boy, did Maryland shit their pants late. It seems like what happened to me, Ski, was that, all right, Loxley was up 20-0 and got scared. He stopped letting his quarterback play. Then the refs get involved, like always. It was third, and I want to say goal for maybe the 8 or so. Washington is trying to get in the end zone and make it a game in the third quarter. Guy just misses the ball. No contact or anything, but he gets up with the Ref falls for it, throws a flag. You know, they get another chance. Then they stop him again, Skee, and it's 4th down. The kid does how they take they put the sword up after they stop him.
I thought it was a seatbelt or something. I don't know what they was doing.
I thought it was a sword. I think it's a sword, like the end of a fight, like put my sword up, victory.
I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, so it's been going a while now in college football. Now some pros, but they give this kid an unsportsmanlike conduct for that.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Outrageous, bro.
That's crazy.
And after that,
seatbelt, bro.
24 straight points.
J. Cash said seatbelt. Locked them up. It is a seatbelt.
Okay, locked them up. I thought it was because I've heard others say it's the warrior, and it's like you're putting up your sword.
Well, I wouldn't know. I didn't play no football, man.
Yeah, it could be, Bo. He said he strapped him up. Yeah, and then some kids told me in Houston, it's like you won a fight and then you put up your sword. That's what they told me. The warrior mentality. So either way works. The bottom line is that we cash on Maryland. We get the plus 6.5 on the easy cash. Actually, what do you think about that one, Skee?
I didn't watch that game at all. I did watch the next game we're gonna talk about, and I'll just say before you even get into it that I'm just so mad at myself. I made the wrong decision. I said I'm gonna trust the defenses. I'm gonna just bet the under, but I did say I thought Texas was gonna lose. Like I talked about, this is my team. I talked about Texas before the season, and I said I thought they were gonna miss the playoffs, and I thought that they were gonna go under their win total. Because it's just, all of the hype around Arch, I didn't think he and the offense were that ready yet. So I'm mad that I missed out on the Florida cover and bet the under instead, which was a loser.
You remember on the show we did Friday,
we talked about it.
Florida was going to win money line.
Yeah,
because their defense is too good. I didn't even know that the kid Dallas Green, I can't remember his last name. Dallas is his first name. Chat, throw it up for me. I don't have anyone to look it up for me right now, but he's a hell of a player. Kid number 6 for Florida was outstanding, bro. And that's what they've been missing. Like, they have been missing a guy who Lagway could get the ball to, and Lagway, they finally ran an offense that highlighted his skills. So, that's a really good job over there.
Dallas Wilson.
Because before they haven't been running anything to allow him to throw the ball. They just been running dumb shit. Like, one running first down, running second down, now it's 3rd and 7 and expecting him to do something,
In the chat, they said the guy you're looking for is Dallas Wilson.
Wilson. Yep. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Appreciate it, David. Yep. Dallas Wilson.
I thought Florida's defense would be good like that, but Texas defense I thought was elite. Bro, they look so sorry out there. They couldn't stop the run for nothing. Is Florida's run game just that strong or what?
This is what happened. It's kind of like, let's put in a basketball mentality for you. If you're playing basketball and you keep coming down every time and someone just keep jacking and missing, after a while, everybody stop playing defense and start arguing.
Okay.
Same with the quarterback. Arch Manning ain't getting it done. So now we tired. Every game, this guy's got every time we turn up, we see Arch when we come outside. This is all human nature, and I know from coaching and being on teams. If you're the star, you better be that MFer. You know what I mean? If not, you get all this bag, all this love. Because when they do the team stuff, they pulling certain guys away to the side. Like, hey, come here, you got to do this. You got to do. You getting all of this stuff, but you not producing on the field, and you just all talk because they can't hit him in practice. So they only know what he got when he got him live fire, and they like, this dude sorry as hell.
That makes sense.
He all right, but the way they had us hyped, we thought we was going to win a national championship with him because we couldn't hit him in practice.
Right.
Now we see what he's really about, and they like, man, come on, man. So that's why you see in the defense for Texas, they just like, man, screw this, bro. Like, we're doing everything. We tired.
Yeah, they over it. So that makes
sense. That's what's happening with that. And that's not going to be the first loss. The second loss they had this year. They're going to lose a couple more. They're going to be after Sarkisian's head because the Manners are really powerful. And they're going to spin this into it's how he's coaching them, and it's nothing he's doing wrong. He can't even coach his full playbook. And we're going to talk about that type of stuff a little bit more. I told you I was going to do a little segment I called 5 Stars Quarterback School. I grade 5 quarterbacks real quick, and we'll kind of talk about what's going on with these quarterbacks, man, and this coach, and it's not good right now at all in the college football or the NFL. But in Sarkisian's situation, he's kind of trapped because you can only do what your quarterback can do. If I'm in practice and every time I run a play, you can't make the throw. And I don't understand. It seemed like me and Steve Spurrier were the only two people who were saying before the season what everyone should have seen if you got common sense. Bro, Arch isn't that good. If he was so great, he would have started over Ewers last year because Ewers was cool, but he wasn't good enough to just
No,
say, you
Ewers
know
suck.
what?
Ewers
I
suck.
love Ewers. We're not gonna
Suck,
play
bro.
Arch.
I couldn't wait for him to not be quarterback no more. But Archie wasn't
Now
ready,
you
and I knew that.
appreciate him, right?
Well, I mean, I knew Arch wasn't ready. I mean, before the season, this was my handicap, so I knew this was coming. So yeah, I mean, Ewers did what he had to do. He made it work, but he still pissed me off.
Ewers could actually run a passing offense. He could make
But
every
here's the
pass on the
thing.
passing tree.
Ewers had Jadon Blue. Ewers had before him, he had Bijan, right?
But he a great passer, bro. You can take everything you want from him as far as in heart and stuff, but he look at his numbers. He was throwing the ball, man. And he was throwing the ball down the field. Not a lot of screens. He was letting that thing go, bro. Making
he had Worthy. He had weapons, bro.
Yeah,
this
but
team
you
right
still
here,
have,
sorry.
bro. Arch has weapons. He's not throwing it to him.
CJ Baxter sucks. They don't got no run game. The offensive line got new pieces. Texas, they not.
A quarterback gets a receiver paid. That's why you got 5 of the wide receivers that played at Colorado are in the NFL and contributing. Because and you see the Bengals, how does Jamar Chase look and Higgins look without Joe Burrow throwing the ball? You know, like they can do all of the stuff they want to get open. If it's not a catchable ball that's on time, there's nothing that you could do. So I think that Ewers takes a lot of flack, but he's the reason that Texas made it to the national championship last year, bro, because
Texas
he allowed Steve Sarkisian to call the entire playbook.
I feel like, I mean, we all know Texas had a lot more talent last year than this year. I just feel like Ewers benefited from that. I think
right. So why wasn't Arch the quarterback though?
But they put him in sometimes when Ewers was messing up, and Arch would play good because the team was better. Team was better around.
Arch was just better at RPOs because he could run the ball. Ewers can't run, and he wanted to incorporate that into the offense. But when they wanted to get into actual situations where they were going play action, they had to play Ewers, and he did a really good job because they run the ball so good. One of the keys to Steve Sarkisian's whole offense, bro, is being able to run that 15 and in route where you're running it so much with the running back that you're bringing up the linebackers and safeties, and you got that big area. And he was hitting that shit all day, over and over and over and over and over, just like
last year.
You know, and Arch can't hit that pass.
That's the problem. You saying Ewers was doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was completing that. Think about it, most of his throws were on in routes, 15 and in routes, seam routes, because with them going play action, they always want to move to safety. You want to get the safety and linebacker moving and then get behind them in that little area behind them for your plays. And I just feel like Ewers had a really good touch. He could put it over the linebacker in between the safety. He just, didn't have he acted a lot like Jay Cutler. You know, Jay Cutler look on the sidelines. It make you say, this guy don't give a damn, so you don't like him. But as far as a plan, I feel like he was a much, much better passing quarterback than Arch ever will be. Arch has taken on the passing of his grandfather and his uncle. He can't throw. So, he's a little athletic. We'll see if that athleticism is enough to get to the next level because he is a fast, strong kid, but he got to go. The Manning passing camp, I don't know why he don't have his little ass in there every year because his mechanics are horrible. Arch can't see anything down the field, and he was like that last year, bro. And he's made no improvement. So it makes me think this guy's a party guy. Like he's living the frat life. He's living the rich, spoiled frat life, and they can't tell him nothing because there's no way his game shouldn't have improved. You see with his footwork, either you're scared and you're forgetting everything that you were taught mechanic-wise from your uncles, who were pro quarterbacks, your head coach who was a pro quarterback and has always done good coaching quarterbacks, or you just not showing up to these camps, to these practices because you drunk all night. So it's one of them, man, and neither one of them are good.
Man,
Yeah, it's always us versus the machine. Y'all hit that like button, man. It's always us versus the machine. Shout out to the people who DM me. I had a couple people DM me, said they had a good weekend. I appreciate you guys when you reach out. The gratitude is really appreciated, man, because this is a thankless job. We can give a million winners in a row. Only thing people gonna remember is when you lose 2 in a row, you know. So I appreciate the ones who reached out to me. And you know, one of my guys said he cashed out big because he remembered oatmeal beats no meal. That it ended up with the last leg didn't win. So man, that's what we do this for, to make everyone better. You know, iron sharpens iron, man. Here you go, Nick.
100%.
Yeah, Nick, that is correct. I heard the same thing. He don't. Peyton say he can't get him on the phone. Yeah, so let's get to Sunday, man. We had a really good Sunday, bro. We swept the board.
Yeah, Sunday was
on
good
Sunday, bro. We ate. Let's start out with what you want to start. Well, first, remember we talked about the Dolphins and the Giants and saying that either both of them were going to lose or at least one of them, and both of them end up losing. Did you end up playing the Saints or the Panthers?
I didn't, and you know, it could have went both ways, because if I played the Saints and they lost, I'll be pissed off. But at the end of the day, I'm like, man, how did I not fade Jackson Dart on the road? Jackson Dart, the how do you call it? The coming of Will Levis, like what he dropped the ball out there, like that one play where he just dropped the ball. That's like Will Levis right there.
It's the hype. We got caught up in the hype too, and see what they do. That's why I don't watch a lot of that shit, is because it'll have you start thinking something that is not yourself too, with the entertainment aspect of it, you know. And I've said all summer long that Jackson Dart is not that good of a quarterback. Now he has a good quarterback coach and he has some athleticism. Maybe they can mold him. He's a wild horse. They can make at the highest peak make him into a Brett Favre type of quarterback. But at this point in his career, and from what he's learned from Lane Kiffin and the offense he was running at Ole Miss and the way he showed up against better talent in SEC, I just like, nah, this guy ain't it. You know, like he just not a good window passer. He doesn't see the field well, and his athleticism did translate to the NFL, so that's good because sometimes he can get away. He's kind of like Bo Nix. They're a lot faster than you thought, so he can run some. But bro, when they get tape on any of these guys like him, Dylan Gabriel's next. I'm gonna talk about him in the quarterback school. These guys with these pop gun offenses that they're making vanilla for these kids, after they get a little film and see what they like, they're gonna take it away because it's all short stuff. So all they gotta do is sit on it with a corner, play a little cover two, and act like they're dropping off into zone and come up to the flats and pick them or jam at the line and stay there. And these guys are all short, so and make the lineman jump and block the passing lanes. This is gonna be hell on those kids, bro. Because the NFL is like this. They're gonna make you play left-handed. They're gonna find out as a quarterback what you do best. They taking that shit away off the muscle, you know. So I'm not surprised what happened with Jackson Dart at all. You know, a really good defensive coordinator over at the Saints. You know, even though he was a bonehead head coach, he did some really good work before as a defensive coordinator before becoming the Chargers head coach. I'm talking about Brandon Staley, and he shut him down, made him look really bad. Shout out to Spencer Rattler, man. Spencer Rattler has been playing his tail off. He doesn't get a lot of hype. People don't pay attention to him much, but even though he went on 11 every game, I was seeing this kid get smoked, take big hits, and he continues to get up every time and try to lead their team, and he finally gets a victory. So shout out to Spencer Rattler for getting his first NFL win, man, as they take care of the Giants. And then we saw the Dolphins. I had them first half. I'm glad that's the only place I took them because, man, I just don't understand what happened in the fourth quarter. What happened to the play calling? What the hell was Mike McDaniel doing? Did you watch that game?
Remind me who they played.
Carolina.
No,
Carolina pulled it off in the fourth quarter.
I didn't watch that one. Honestly, the 10 o'clock games I wasn't too involved in.
You you were still recovering.
You know. I was a little late in the morning game.
So that means let me break down this next one. Then I know you didn't see the Cowboys and the Jets. Then
nope.
Well, we got the Cowboys side and we took the over, man. We gave out the over Friday and the over
On my
sailed over.
show or on the show with me, right?
Yeah.
Because when I seen the score, I'm like, damn, he was talking about that.
Yeah, because the Jets are unorganized. Like they still out there looking like some buffoons. Eric, when I saw that little film of Eric Glenn, like trying to knock the ball out of players' hands when they were doing drills, bro, I saw he threw at the end of the year. They about to fire him because, bro, you're a head coach. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
What, you supposed to be up in a tower somewhere. Like, you supposed to be making them feel your presence, bro. Like, walking around. Like, you on the field trying to knock the ball out of running backs' hands.
Yeah, you had some good calls on Sunday, NFL. I'm thinking about them. Yeah, some good ones. It was easy. Or that one looked easy. The next one we're gonna talk about when I walked into the casino, the score was like 20 something to 3. I said, God,
You
I was
talk
like,
about
that
the
was so
Texans.
easy, so easy.
I
Yeah,
told you that was the easiest game on the show Friday. I said, man, the Texans is the sure bet. That was the easiest bet in the world. If anything, just because this. One, the Texas defense is phenomenal. You think that they're going to allow this guy that they had under center to beat them? Come on, man. That's not even the offense that the Ravens run. Like, they don't even practice that. So they had to create a whole new. That's why I didn't understand them not getting the typical backup quarterback that they have so they could just run their normal Lamar Jackson package, because they really just pretty much run that veer and shoot offense that Lamar ran in Louisville with a couple changes. They play a little bit of what Jim Harbaugh did with the 49ers with Kaepernick. And then some other stuff that the OC brought over from Georgia that he used to run in college. But overall, it's nothing like the offense that, Cooper, what his name?
Rush.
Rush has ever ran before. He's a drop back passer. So they had to install this week against the best defense in the league. I keep telling people the Texans have the best defense in the league, bro. Like, they're the most
And the
prepared,
Ravens defense is so sorry too.
bro. And
This
the
was an
Ravens
easy
defense is
game.
garbage. So
I
now,
don't know how I didn't bet this one, man.
a great fantasy story. So a guy, my league is old as shit. We've been together almost like 16, 17 years. We all my homeboys went to school together and shit. So we take this shit serious about the fact a big money pot. There's probably a couple of guys in here now and watching it. So somebody dropped, they were pissed off. They dropped CJ Stroud.
Damn.
Bro, I cut Kyler Murray so fast and grabbed him. I cut his ass so fast that I threw CJ in. I knew this was a get right spot, and he throws for 4 touchdown goals out for me. But he's going to be better moving forward because I seen some really good signs. You remember early in the year we were talking about what the problem was. We were saying how I was saying, like, bro, when a quarterback hits his back foot, the ball's supposed to be gone. It's not supposed to be any. When you're doing that, you don't know, you're not seeing the field clear, and also you're dealing with PTSD. You're afraid you're about to get hit. You didn't see any of that this week. He was back to CJ, but also great job by D'Amico Ryans and Nick Caley. D'Amico Ryans spent this whole last 2 weeks in the offensive room. He's not just coaching the defense. He gave the defensive play calling duties to Matt Burke. Matt Burke has called an outstanding game the last 2 weeks. They've allowed 5 points in the last 2 weeks. So Matt Burke, being a DC now, has allowed D'Amico to say, you know what, man, I got to let this go. I'm going to trust. Let me bring my ass over here so and help them out. Because D'Amico is a really smart guy. He was the play caller at linebacker for Houston when he was there. Been around Nick Saban, played with the best. This guy knows what he's doing. He's a really bright guy. So he was able to come in and give a defensive perspective to counter some of the stuff that Nick Caley was doing and say, like, yeah, well, we like to do this on defense right here, so maybe you should do this. And now you see the results of that with them getting back to the things that CJ is really good at, like rolling left out and then going back across the field because he has a big arm and he's really accurate, but it gives him a clean pocket where you can see the field clear, man. And they did a really good job, man. I was so proud of that team and the adjustments that they made. But my whole handicap by saying this was too easy is because people do not understand what Lamar Jackson means to Baltimore, what Patrick Mahomes means to Kansas City, what Josh Allen means to Buffalo. These teams are all instantly sorry without these dudes, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Jordan Love can not play for Green Bay, and they'll probably go like 2-2 the next 4 games. They could win some with Malik Willis. These dudes are different, bro. These teams, they're just throwing stuff out there because they have to pay them so much. They can't give them enough talent around them. So these guys are carrying this stuff, bro. And that's what real good quarterbacks do, like Breeze, like Manning, like Brady did as well. You're going to deal with whatever they give you because you're making the big bucks. You the guy who's – so that it was easy for me. Like, bro, the Ravens about to be ass without Lamar. Come on, bro. Derrick Henry ain't going to do nothing.
It's time for me to be Buck Nasty in here, man. the nastiest hater. They sorry with Lamar. The Ravens are sorry this year all around. I get
know
that
you're
they
a
look
notorious Lamar hater.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you remember the Chappelle show, I think it was the Chappelle show. No, one of those shows. Buck Nasty, the nastiest hater, the haters ball.
Yeah,
that's me hater. With Lamar. And I don't think they were good. I don't think they were going to be good this year. I was liking the Ravens win total under. In the past, the Ravens usually, right now, the team around Lamar is just worse. But usually he has a good team around him. And when Lamar's not playing, they can still get the job done. So I just think this year the team is sorry. And they look a little bit better with Lamar, but I don't know. Josh Allen, we saw this last year. Josh Allen and Lamar. And when it came down to it, Josh Allen won. So I don't like putting him in a category with Josh Allen.
No, Lamar much better than Josh Allen. Stop. Are you crazy? Josh Allen had an MVP that he won last year. You know, I take my quarterback and I take it seriously. Josh Allen shouldn't have won the MVP last year. It was media driven, and we know that. And it was also Lamar fatigue, aka black fatigue. But so it was Lamar. But Lamar had 41 touchdowns, 3 interceptions last year. Skee, that's never been done before in the NFL.
But Lamar also had,
and he's a 2-time MVP. Really should have been 3, right? So,
but he had a much better team than Josh Allen.
No, he doesn't. Never. Buffalo's got a better team, bro. They got a better defensive coach. Because now when he had Mike McDonald as the defensive coordinator before he went to Seattle, they had a squad. That was his opportunity to get it done. And that's when Lamar shit his pants in the playoffs. That was it. He had a better team before Derrick Henry actually got there. Derrick Henry is nothing without Lamar, bro. You could put any back there. It's just that Derrick Henry's so big and fast, he's going to carry out and make the run where normal back getting 5 yards, he taking it to the house. But the entire run aspect of Lamar Jackson being able to hit you on the corner at the defensive end with an RPO opens up the line for every running back that he plays with. Like no other quarterback does, bro. Like no other quarterback. So just his threat alone on the edge, the ridiculous speed that he has, but also his accuracy throwing the ball. But see, Lamar takes a lot of flack for nothing. He didn't lose the game last year against Buffalo. The team lost the game. He did everything he could have to put them in position to win. He had the fumble in the first quarter, but after that, they're coming back. They're about to take the lead, but it was working. First he goes the wrong way. He could have just ran straight and got a touchdown. He turns around and goes the wrong way and fumbles, just throws the ball down, and then he drops the 2-point conversion for them to tie the ball game up. So that's within the stats. Sometimes you're not going to see unless you watch the game whether the quarterback played well. So I don't blame him at all for last year's loss, bro. Okay, Ty G, you're new to the show.
I'm just trying to
talking about
I wasn't
better than Allen because he is.
I wasn't trying to hijack the show and make it Lamar Allen. I just
bro. You can do whatever you want to. You're my homeboy, bro. You part of the way we're always. So we talking shit. It's all good, bro. It's love.
Yeah.
What see, the reason why he doesn't understand this is because you're caught up in the madness of propaganda. And I'm just dealing with the facts, what I see on film, bro. And on film, Lamar's a much better passer than Josh Allen. He's faster than him. He's much more bigger threat in the open field.
He's not a better passer than Josh Allen.
He definitely is, bro.
He's not.
He has the highest QBR in the history of the NFL. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I mean, you can do all them numbers. All I'm gonna tell you is what I see from Lamar. A lot of times when it matters, he'll overthrow somebody, or the biggest problem, the number one reason he sucks.
Oh, that's why. Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off. Ty, you got on fan lenses, brother. Appreciate you for tuning into the Wager World. We know you Bills Mafia, but now I see why you said that. That's not true. Okay,
The real reason he sucks is because teams know when shit get tight, when you need a win, all you gotta do is blitz him. Just blitz him. He gonna make a mistake. Whether it's a fumble or overthrown pass or just throwing the shit up there to get intercepted.
I'm tired of talking about both of them. The only one that you guys need to be talking about is King Mahomes. That's it. Talk about the baby goat. I'm so tired of you guys talking about Lamar. You got me caught up talking about this mess. Lamar, Josh Allen. Who cares?
Hey, I'm gonna shout out we did the show on Friday, so I had some good stuff I talked about. Lions -8, -10, whatever number you got was a winner. We talked about the Commanders. The Chargers.
Hey, what I'm smoking. Ty, tonight I'm smoking. Actually, this morning I still have some remnants left of smoking that Buffalo pack last night. It was great. That Bills OG was hidden.
Damn shit. My bad.
He asked me what I was smoking. I told him I smoked that Buffalo pack from last night when I took the Patriots. Yeah, man. Okay. We all have it's all fun here in the Wager World, man. Having a great show. We appreciate everyone that's tuned in right now. It's always us versus the machine. And that's why we do this. I love you guys have an opinion. Everyone is going to see things through, a different perspective. And that's what the great thing about sports, man, is that everyone, sees it how they want to. But the difference between me and them is I'm always right in the end.
Tim says, please let's not talk about the Chargers. Yeah, don't press the Chargers, bro.
Tim,
without the offensive line, without Joe Alt,
from the private
you can't
group,
trust
man.
him, bro. You can't trust him.
Bro, that's my boy from the private group, bro. We got cracked because the Chargers on the money line parlay, man. Wow. Sorry about that, Tim. We had a great weekend besides that, though. We had a really good weekend. All right, let's get to just a little tennis that we won on the show.
Hold on. My bad. Yeah, I talked about all my losers real quick. Let me at least say my winners, man.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know you was through. My bad. What you got? Skee? I thought you was asleep.
No, I gave out the Lions. That was a winner. Okay. I gave out the Commanders. That was a winner. Okay. I don't know if I gave it out, but I did play the Patriots. That one was just lovely. So I had a good Sunday. The one loser I did have was the Seahawks.
Okay. Yeah, and I had Tampa Bay plus 3.5 on that one. And Tampa Bay first half money line and first half plus 2.5 even money. And the Bucs screwed off the money line on the first half. But the NFL was going to make that script unbelievable. That those jerseys, and they had the old school feel to it. That was a great game, man. It was great visually to watch, and just great football as well as Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold duel it out. Two former number ones who, kind of show people who, like myself, believe Shador can play. Like those guys, everybody said they couldn't play, gave up on them, called them bums, and now they're two of the best in, the whole NFL. I say top 15 for sure. I say top 10 with Baker. I put Darnold in the top first half of the league. He's still, the reason they lost the Tampa Bay game, he turns the ball over too much. That's one problem I have with Sam Darnold. But great job once again. Y'all know Skee solid. He always going to, do what he's supposed to do and handicap this shit right. So now let's get to some tennis. We both had some winners on this one. I gave out on the show, I believe Wednesday, Anisimova over Paulini. We were able to cash that at minus 180. Then on Friday, Skee handicapped me and gave out Anisimova over Coco. What did you see in that one?
Yeah, bro. I mean, honestly, it's just cap to capper, bro. That's a skill. Like if you sit here and watch these shows, or you watch either me or 5 Star, you know how we feel about majority of the stuff we talk about. So if a person like 5, he loves Coco. If you have a price of minus 115 for Coco and he's not betting it and he's trying to find something else to bet, he's sitting there talking on the show telling me to go trying to find some that screams to me, because I know he would be on Coco at minus 115 if he thought she was gonna win. So it was just cap the capper, and Samova ended up winning easily.
And she ends up winning the entire title as she beats Noskova in 3 sets came out on fire. I won the first set with her. It was 6-love, so that was fun. You know, I like to bet the first set. Speaking of first sets, then we cashed on the show as well. We did the parlay with the first set for Jacob Minsick. You know, that's what
Oh, the
we
ATM is still working.
But you remember that one always worked for us. That
Yeah.
was one of the little, one of our go-tos right there. So we went Jacob Minsick with another one of our go-tos, Period Card, so those two together, big servers, young kids, they used to win the first set in tiebreakers, and they get it done for us on the first set parlay. So we had a really good past weekend, man. We're transparent on my show, on Skee's show, on J Money show. We want to teach you guys from the L's and also celebrate the wins, but we're not going to act like we're perfect on here. We're going to go through everything because you have to keep the mind state when you're betting sports always that, man, sometimes I'm going to be wrong. Sometimes not going to go my way, and I got to keep going if I truly believe in what I'm doing, and you can still turn this into an investment, a good investment. But if you're around here like getting too frustrated from an L, bro, you're not made to be a sports bettor. It's not going to work out for you. You can't expect immediate gratification from this. All right, I got a new segment I want to do, 5 Stars Quarterback School. So I actually had a quarterback school, and that's how Lance Zerline actually started following me on my old account. And I like to talk quarterback. You guys know I am about that. It's 5 quarterbacks that I'm going to grade this week, and I'm going to do this probably every 2 weeks or so, and we'll grade them. I'm going to start out with Gabriel Dillon over at Cleveland. He was efficient, accurate as he's always been in the short and medium game. A lot of problems. I think he was 2 for 9 over 10-yard passes. What he did was cute. It's cool for, his coach making everything vanilla for him and easy. He made the passes he was supposed to. People throwing out the stat. It's always a story behind a stat. The stat is that the Vikings hadn't given up 2 touchdown passes to anyone this year, but what kind of touchdown passes were they? So Cleveland has an issue, and the issue is that after people get film on them, it's only so long you're going to be able to run that offense. They only scored 17 points. Every offense needs a burner. I've talked to you extensively about that, Skids. You see the difference between now with Mahomes, with Worthy in the offense and how he's looking, and how CJ is now looking. That Kirk has came back. Like you need one guy who can take the top off of defense, and you got to have a quarterback who has arm talent to threaten the safety with that deep ball. And if you can do that, safeties are more careful when they're coming up. They're going to think twice about, play fakes. They're going to think twice before, just blitzing down the block to stop the run. And that opens up your tight end. That opens up your X receiver. That opens up everything in the playbook for you when you could do that. That's going to be Dylan Gabriel's problem. He's always been a guy that's good at doing 10 and outs and, stop routes and stuff like that because he's really accurate, like a Mark Brunell type of guy. But he struggles, man, with downfield passing. And as long as Cleveland continues to ride with him, you're going to see that. I think before the season's over, he'll have a Jackson Dart game or two. And then we'll get a chance to see Shador. And what Shador will be able to do for Cleveland is unlock Jerry Jeudy. You got to have someone who can get the ball to Jerry Jeudy deep. And if they do that, Cleveland's going to be really good because Judkins is a beast. He's the best rookie running back in the entire league, bro. And then you also have over there Fannin, maybe the best rookie tight end in the league. He's right there with the kid that's over with for the coach that came from Penn State. They're both really good, bro. And I told people about Fannin coming out of Bowling Green, how good he was going to be. He's right from Canton, Ohio, where the Hall of Fame is. But I'll give Dylan Gabriel, I'll give him a C. And he gets the C only because it was limited with the playbook that Stefanski ran for him. You could tell he had him on training wheels. But with the limited play, he was accurate and made some really good reads and got the ball out quick. Did you watch it? I know you didn't see that game. That was at 5:30 in the morning.
No, negative. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I was like,
you probably was still out.
Yeah, I was like, football on? What the hell?
Yeah, shout out to Skee, man. And then so next we're gonna grade Jackson Dart real briefly. Jackson Dart, week 1, his first week starting, I gave him a B. This week, I'm gonna give him a D-. He played horribly because he didn't make any adjustments to what the Saints were doing. He wasn't seeing the field clear. He scrambling and running around too much, and he was fumbling and bumbling and stumbling. You know, he looked like he had been hanging out a little bit on Bourbon Street. And he looks like a little party kid. So Jackson Dart, you get a D- for that. But overall, for the year, I give him a C, and we'll see if he can get better. They're highly invested in him. Like when they decided to run with him and make him the guy, Dayball's whole career is tied to him. We haven't seen enough football with him yet. He showed some glimpses, but my worries with him is all about how can he see the field. Like people are more worried about whiteboard instead of green field. And that's the problem. You got some quarterbacks like CJ and Shador who get on the whiteboard and probably they just can tell you what people at where they're supposed to be. They can't draw that shit up. But when they get on the field, they can see exactly where to go to ball because they're quarterbacks. You know, intuitively, they can play the position and they see things and they can see guys open and where I can put the ball to get them open. And then you got guys like Dylan Gabriel, who he's held at the whiteboard. He can draw up and show you everything, but he doesn't have the physical tools or the calm pulse to get the ball there. So that's what we're going to see moving forward out of both of those guys. Jackson Dart just has a long way to go. He might end up being a disappointment. He has so much room from his ceiling and to his bottom out, bro. It's ridiculous because he could be a really good player or he could be trash. You can't really tell because he showed us a little bit of both, you know.
Yeah.
But from the times you saw him play, do you have any high hopes for Jackson Dart?
Hell no. I seen enough, man. I seen
We
him
watched him
in
in
college
college.
when it matters, shit all over himself at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Seen him looking like Will Levis yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't Jackson Dart. He ain't getting no love from Skee. I got no
Yeah.
faith in Jackson Dart.
You're a smart man. All right, let's look at CJ Stroud. CJ had a C for me the whole season until last two games. The last two games, I gave him a B plus for the prior game. And against the Ravens, he gets an A because he worked the offense. And we know that the Ravens suck on defense, but that doesn't matter. It's about putting up the numbers like the other good quarterbacks have done against them. When Josh Allen played them, he put up numbers, you know. So it's about being able to execute and do what you're supposed to do, and he's looking a lot better. Also, I have to be honest with you, play calling means everything. Protection means everything. He's finally getting some help, so I'm not worried about CJ Stroud at all, former Rookie of the Year. I know you think really highly of CJ as well, Skee.
Yeah, I'm a CJ fan. I was asking you earlier, like, what the hell is going on in Texas? Like,
Right.
I want to see him do well, so I'm happy to see his improvement as the season continues to go.
Yeah, D'Amico woke up and finally started understanding, I can coach the hell out this defense, but if we don't put a point on the board, we can't
Don't
win.
matter.
So let me pay a little bit more attention to my franchise quarterback and stop, being in the defensive room all the time. I think we both agree that Arch Manning gets an F.
Yeah. Yeah. That boy
You a
was
Texas
terrible.
fan, and I'm
That boy terrible.
tied in with the Texas football program for many, 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 many years, bro. I'm tied in over there. I always know someone who's used to be one of the homies that play, and then it turned to their kids and their nephews and their cousins. And Arch ain't it, bro. From what
F
I'm hearing, Arch
minus.
ain't it.
Nicholas say F minus.
What'd he say?
F minus.
Oh, my girl, she sucks now.
No. At the bottom, he was talking about Coco there. At the
Oh,
bottom, it say F minus.
okay. I was about to say, wait a second, Nicholas. This is a family-friendly broadcast. Yeah, definitely F minus for Arch. There's no even need to talk about that. Did you watch any of the Florida, Texas?
Yeah, nigga, I watched the whole game. That's my team. I watch every Texas game.
Okay, so what
From
do you
start to
think about?
finish.
So was that your first time watching Lagway play, or did you watch when
No,
he
I
threw
seen
the
him play
5
last year.
interceptions against LSU?
Was that last year or was that this year?
What, when he threw the 5 interceptions?
Yeah.
That was this year against LSU.
No, I didn't see that. I've seen him play before though. So my thing on this one is, before you even go and give your grade, I want to just throw this out there. Like, we already done said that the defense quit because Arch Manning, they don't want to play, they tired of everything. So can we really say DJ Lagway was that good when we saying that about the Texas defense?
That's a great point. With him, now I sound like one of those Nepo NFL scouts. It's his traits. You know what I'm saying? Like Lagway has traits to me. It was coming into the year. Anyone who follows me and anyone who really, the small group of people who really know that I kind of know a little bit about this quarterback stuff, they know that all offseason when they was putting out all these polls, I was just dissecting and destroying everyone about the people who the NFL scouts were saying was going to be the next guy. And I was like, no, Nussmeier's not ready. He could be like Tony Romo, but he turns the ball over too much. Now, Klubnik not ready because Klubnik, he's not a refined passer. He doesn't see the field well, and he's not that athletic. He doesn't have enough athleticism to make a difference in the ball game. He also turns the ball over too much. I said, Archie's not ready. He hasn't had enough snaps, and he's not refined. He's not a natural thrower. Lenard Sellers, he could be Steve McNair if he learns how to throw. The difference between him and Steve McNair could pass. Lenard Sellers is just country strong like Steve McNair, and a ultra athlete, kind of could be a Cam Newton, but you'd have to tailor the offense where it's mostly run first. And we've seen with Anthony Richardson, that don't really work in the NFL. The difference when Lamar became that guy is when he started completing passes. So I don't know if Lenard Sellers is going to ever be able to throw. My guys coming into this year that I liked the most were three kids. Dante Moore, I said that since UCLA, he's prototypical pro. 6'3", 220. Demeanor doesn't change. He could throw all over the field, every pass. More athletic than people think. A lot of speed. My other guy that I talked about was DJ Lagway, and he's completely underachieved, but he has the size. He has the arm strength. The problem is Billy Napier runs the wrong offense for him, Skee. And this week, he finally allowed him to throw the ball around, So, as you said, Texas didn't play as well as they normally play, so I will factor it in. We'll see moving forward, but he definitely has all the tools to be good. And then another one I liked was Devon Dampier, not necessarily as to being a pro, but just having a really good year to transfer and maybe having the opportunity to do what Cam Ward did, and next year kind of catapult up into being talked about to go to the NFL because he's a little bit smaller, but he's an electric player. All right, man, so that was the quarterback school. We talked about a couple of these quarterbacks. We're going to do that every week or so. Man, let's jump off into the present and get to tonight's game. We reviewed everything. Now let's get to what everybody tuned in for to see what we think about the game tonight between the Chiefs and the Jaguars. I'm going to let my homeboy go first. What's your opinion on this game, and who do you like, Skee?
Yeah, well, before I even start, I'm going to say I didn't dig too deep into this game yet.
Okay.
It's been some more recovery mode this morning. But what I'll say so far is, one, this feels like one of them games. Like we know, me and you both know, Patrick Mahomes is the king of winning and not covering, bro. He knows he can play the game and get the out. Like if he needs to win by one, he'll do what he needs to do to win by one. You know what I'm saying? This 3.5 with that hook, and it was 4.5 before. Like this is screaming that the Jags are going to cover this game to me. You got Worthy now downgraded from healthy to questionable. If he missed, we just talked about how important he is to the offense.
Yeah.
Not that the Jags defense is great, but that would be a big miss if he's out. So just those things made me want to try to find reasons to back Jaguars plus 3.5. I think the Chiefs can win, absolutely, but I just don't think they're going to cover.
Got you. And I could very much see where you're coming from with that whole angle on that because Jacksonville has been very opportunistic. They played really well. They played much better than people expected them to play. And I kind of anticipated them being a tough out because I like Liam Cohen, the coach. He's a lot sharper than people think. They lead the NFL in takeaways. 13, they're best in turnover margin, they're +9, and points off turnovers. They have 41 points through 4 weeks of turnover, Skee. Now, that's something you can't ever factor into, the handicap, especially with Mahomes. In fact, I've seen a couple people on the TL who were saying that they liked the Mahomes under a half interceptions. I think it was a good number on it, too, maybe like -120 or something like that because how much the Jags have turned over teams. They're also really good against the run, man. They're only averaging, allowing 3.5 yards per carry. They have not allowed a rushing touchdown all year to anyone. So Jacksonville's defense has been balling. What I worry about them?
Wait. Say that again. They haven't allowed a rushing touchdown?
No, not all year.
So is it the passing defense that sucks? Because I was looking at Jacksonville
Yeah, I
defense
was
like
just
they
about
wasn't
to
good.
get into that. Their
Okay.
passing defense is their problem, and that's
All
why I worry about them when they play Mahomes.
Got it.
Because if you look at their passing, it's a much different ball game. They're allowing 12.7 receiving points per game just to running back. So that means fantasy points, meaning they're doing points. You know, like you're doing numbers against them. They don't cover the running back well. Also, even though Brock Purdy had all those bonehead turnovers, he averaged 8.1 yards per attempt on them, had 309 yards. They can't get into a shootout with this team because their DBs aren't that good and they don't get a lot of pressure. And because they can't really throw the ball themselves, Lawrence is he threw for 5.6 yards per attempt on Sunday, 5.9 yards per attempt for the whole season, Skee, and that's 28th ranked. There's only 3 quarterbacks worse than him. They probably like backups or something. And he's also completed only 8.9% of his passes below expectations. What that means, guys, is like when you got to make a tight window throw, when you got to escape something and make a hard pass, he's second in the league, second to last in the league. That meaning if he's pressured, he can't do anything with the ball. He's just eating it, you know, or he's making a bad play. He's also the least pressured quarterback. So that's kind of scary to think that, okay, this guy can't do anything when he is pressured, but they're not really getting to him. So in those opportunities that he has to make some shake, he can't do it. You see? So I worry about Lawrence. He's not that good to me, man. He's only completed 37% of his passes in pressure too, Skee.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I've never been a Trevor Lawrence believer. So
3 yards per pass when he's pressured. So he's immediately just eating it or dumping it like, here, take it.
All right, can I ask you a question? And I hate to bring it back to this, but the Chiefs, their last big game versus who they played the last big game in the playoffs? Not the damn. Well, anyway,
they played the Bills.
What I'm trying to say anyway is J Cass said it here in the bottom. Like Spags, he can dial it up, and I know they haven't been pressured a lot, but you think he can have some stuff for them to be able to get home on Lawrence tonight. And if you do that, like you said, he's not going to be good tonight. That's kind of how you viewing it, right?
Well, I'm not gonna play around. This is one of my members right here, Tim. He already know our rules, and you know it too, Skee. we don't bet against Mahomes. That's just me. I bet him one time in the last 3 years, and he smacked my ass when Russell Wilson against the Giants, trying to be too smart. So
too smart.
Yeah, it ended up blazing my ass. Because this is what I'm looking at right here. The Jags, if I'm gonna play them like how you thinking about, I'll probably play them first half because the Jags are the only team in the league that's led at halftime all 4 games. You know how I am with the Dogs. So we might play in a group Jacksonville plus what I think it's maybe 2.5, 1.5 or something even. It might be a plus a half.
I'll tell you right now, first half it is 2.5.
2.5, yeah. So probably 2.5 even money, huh? What is it? They got any juice or is it 110?
It's 110.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I play Jacksonville 2.5, but I play for the game the Chiefs, but I buy the hook and make it -3. So I'd probably do it. Yeah, I'd probably do it in that version just because Jacksonville is going to come out with a good game plan. They're going to be hyped. They're home. Liam Cohen is a pretty good offensive guy. He knows how to draw things up. You know, shout out Jason. Respect, brother. So with that said, I just think that the Chiefs find a way to win. They can't lose any more games. You know, like
they can.
Right now.
They've avoided emergency. They were 0-2. They're now 2-2. If they go 2-3, it's not the end of the world. They still can make the playoffs. They still can do everything they need to do.
Yeah. I still like the Chiefs to win this one, bro. Road favorites with a worse win-loss record than the home team or 54-27-3 against the spread. When they're laying at least 3 points, the road favorite is 28-9-1 against the spread when they have a worse win-loss record. So the books know something anytime they're making a team with a worst record, the favorite. You know that. We've been doing this for years. So, and another thing to look for is the refs. You know, I've been getting into the refs lately on these standalones. Brad Rogers, Kansas City is 5-0 straight up when he's the referee. So he's a Pat Mahomes, probably a Kelsey lover. So I'd watch for that. He actually was the referee the last time when they played in 2022 and the Chiefs covered and beat the Jags 27-17. So my angle on this would be Jacksonville first half plus 2.5, Chiefs for the game -3, or Chiefs money line for the game.
I think they win. So
Yeah.
I agree on that.
Yep. So that's what we think about tonight's game. We're right at an hour, so let's try to start wrapping this thing up. Let's go on and hit to the ball and parlay. You got any plays for the people tonight at all, Skee?
Man, I haven't made any bets yet. I really just woke up and got myself together and hopped on here with you. I'm gonna try to put some bets in when I finish, or look up some more, a little more research when I finish. So I don't want to give them something just to give them and blow up they ball and parlay.
Right. No, we ain't gonna do that. We can never do that, man. So you guys know, great stat right here by B-Man. He say favorites under Rodgers as the lead referee are 23-10 against the spread, 25-8 money line. Thank you, B-Man. That's just more reasons for me to say I'm riding with the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'll tell you, I like one of your plays already without even looking into it. So that's the one I would rock with it. I'll rock with it. It's just
so Brad Rogers went to Texas Tech, Skee. Great angle, Josh. Appreciate you, brother.
who? Oh, Brad Rogers.
Yes, he went to Texas Tech. That's huge, bro. You know that. Like, that's subliminally, at least that's huge, So I don't know, bro. I'm just not messing with Pat. I feel like they're about to go on a mean streak. And you also know that I have a ticket on them to win the AFC, so I need them to get back home field advantage if they can.
Oh, okay. That's why you're saying they can't lose no more games.
Yeah, they can't lose no more games for the 5-star. So, all right. So let's roll with this. Let's do some tennis, man. Let's go out to Wuhan, man. It's a 500 WTA. Some big names over there. I'm going with my girl, Caro Muchova. Y'all know I love old Muchova. It looks like Muchova, but it's Muchova. It's how you pronounce it. Muchova. Young chick lady. Well, she's middle-aged now for tennis. She's like 28, 27 now, but I've been following her a long time before injuries. She was one of my favorite ladies to bet. If not for injuries, she'd be a top 5 player with already a major, in her case. She's one of the thousands before. She's been to the finals of the French Open and the U.S. Open and the semis of the Wimbledon, but really good player, getting a game back. She's facing Kostyuk from Ukraine. Kostyuk is one of those girls who's always underachieved, man. She's in great shape. She looks great in a tennis outfit. She looks like she could play. She'll make some plays on the court where you like, wow, this girl is good, but she's just not consistent enough for Muchova, man. Muchova gets it done at -140. And I'm going to roll with my girl.
This is the one I agree with.
That's
this
your
just
girl
like
too.
Minsick. This just like Minsick.
Minsick?
I said this play right here. This just like Minsick to me.
Oh yeah. Kirsteya first set. Yeah, she gonna mow Ostapenko. And it's not even more about. It's more about Ostapenko than Kirsteya. Big Pinko never comes to play in the first set, bro. Like I don't know what the hell she does before the match, because with her and Putintseva, you can fade them the first set damn near against anybody, bro. Alicia Parks, you can fade her first set against a player ranked 3,000 in the world. They don't have their stuff together when they come out in the first set. So give me Kirsteya first set -180 against Asta Pinko. All right, guys, we appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Wait.
What'd you say, Skee? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut y'all.
I might as well just we both agree. I'm gonna just add the Chiefs money line to the parlay because they're not losing.
They're not losing. So you heard it from Skee. We're going Chiefs money line. We're going Kirsteya first set -180 against Jelena Ostapenko. We're going with Caro Muchova -140 against Kostyuk down in Wuhan. It's going to be a really great Monday night football game. Thank you, Tim, for tuning in. Man, before we get out of here, I want to say God bless and shout out to Matt Ory. He is the attorney who just was able to provide all of the information that happened inside the Kyron Lacey incident, man, where he had was set up and was framed for causing a car accident. Hurts my heart, man, because I'm a big LSU guy and I know a bunch of people in that city where he's from in Thibodeau who all were saying many months ago when it all happened that it was a lie and that the truth was going to come out. I'm originally from Louisiana. I lived in Monroe with my grandparents until I was 16. And I can tell you one thing about Louisiana. There's still some good old boys out there, man, and they'll do anything in the world to get things the way that they want, to make things come out to their advantage. And they took advantage of this young kid, man, and made him out the enemy. And even though the witness told them that he was 70 yards behind the accident, they still framed him and said that he was, the cause of someone having losing their life in the accident. And I'm sure he was probably drunk. He probably was, I don't know this, but I'm just assuming that he was probably having a good time like kids do in Louisiana, so he might have been in the mind frame of, man, did I cause this wreck? Did I do this? But now that his attorney has proven this, that his friends and families who told people about this and no one believed him, and he got slaughtered on the internet and bullied, it led to, Kyron Lace unfortunately taking his life because people deal with depression in different ways, bro. And people deal with social media bullying in different ways. So I just want to say, God bless Matt Orr for, even though Lacey isn't here anymore, his dreams of being an NFL player is over. His poor dad, man, I seen him post something about how hurt he was to, find out how they did his child. All I could do is send my prayers to them, man, and say I feel for them because, I'm a father of 3 black boys as well, and sometimes the system isn't kind to minorities, bro. Like, people want to deny it and say that you just making stuff up. But this is another testament and another story showing what people like myself talk about all the time, that's a reality. And I cannot forget the people who are dealing with this, no matter how successful I am in life, no matter where I go in life. I've dealt with this hands-on myself with the system and how some people will do you just because of your skin color, bro. And I'm never going to not bring it up, and I'm never going to, forget about those people who are dealing with those situations. And if it offends some people, then don't watch my show. But that's all part of what the wagering world is about. It's always us versus the machine. And when I say that, I mean that from the heart. So, man, I want to say that this guy, Matt Orr, was an angel to Kyron Lace in his life, man, by allowing him that, even though he passed in a way that, was a negative way, and you look at it in a bad way, at least he cleared his name up. And he also brought to light some of the stuff that people are dealing with in this system, man, that we're trying to battle against every day and survive in, man, and not get caught up in. Any words for about the Kyron Lacy incident, Skee?
I mean, I can't say it any better than what you said. So I agree with everything that you said.
I appreciate that, man. Hey, man, as always, I dedicate this show to the greatest Houston sports fan I know, and that's my father, John H. Lindsay. I do this for you, Dad. This is the Wagering World. We'll be back on Wednesday, man. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Let's get them tonight. Let's win on Monday Night Football.